This bike will very quickly tell you that you're not good enough to ride it. And I think it does that to everyone who isn't Casey Stoner, which, yeah, it depends. It's not a bike you're going to go and enjoy a relaxing Sunday ride on, but as a bike that is a real experience and a real kind of like, whoa, that is out of this world, that is one of the highest ranked bikes on that list for me. These videos only happen because of the support and help from our sponsors. Support the companies that support us. So we're back again at the Bike Specialist for another episode of Dream Rides. Not a bad day at work, this one. James, welcome back.
Great to be back on. Absolutely, it's lovely to be a part of it.
I tell you what, last time was an absolute blinder, wasn't it?
The 998R is an amazing bike. Yeah, it really is.
I genuinely, I went home hearing that bike in my sleep. I could still hear it as I was laying there going, whoa. So I said to you, you've got to top that, and you
Here we
said
go.
No problem.
Desmosedici, my personal favourite motorcycle of all time, and that's Exotica to the maximum. Only 1,500 of these beauties ever made, and here it is. It's just, you're going to absolutely love this bike.
It is. I mean, you say Exotica as well. It's a piece of motorcycling history.
That's right. And they made, believed, only 600 Rossos. So they did a team version, which is this particular bike here with the white stripe going through the fairing. And then they did a Rosso, which is the white stripe on the tailpiece, and then all the rest of the bike is in red. So the Rossos are slightly rarer. To me, I prefer the team version. I like the big white stripe going through it. It just looks absolutely awesome.
And more than that, it's, I mean, before or since, I don't think anyone's made something this close to the Grand Prix version.
To me, Ducati have not made a motorcycle what looks as good as this since then. Yeah, I mean, you look at the Superleggera, which is an incredible piece, but to me it's Panigale, and this is in a class of its own. You know exactly what that bike is when you see it.
Yeah, this is its own thing, and you know, scratching the surface, the more time I spend looking at it, the details, this little ceramic exhaust exit, the footrest hangers are an absolute work of art.
They are, yeah.
And you know, at Bike World, you know, we pulled one to pieces. John and Dan rebuilt one from the ground up, skimmed the heads, and every single component on them is just something really special and not like any other production bike.
No, absolutely beautiful.
You look at these on paper and it's 193 kilos, claimed 190 horsepower,
yes,
but realistically it's 170 at the wheel. That's with no traction control.
That's right.
No ABS, no, we've got a softer riding map for you to put it in. It's all of it, it's all there. Yeah. And we joked about that with the 998R as a really quick bike with none of that stuff. This is the next level. Next
level up again, absolutely. And like I said, when you're riding one of these, you've really got to think what you're doing, because it can soon catch you out, one of these, definitely. And they get extremely hot as well. And like I said, the front wheel, every time it touches something, you can really feel what it's doing. It can really catch you out.
I'm going to try not to be too nervous and scared about this. We're not going to talk about the price tag just yet. I'm just going to be plausibly denying that one until I finish riding it. But it's a no compromise bike. It's not built to be usable, to be rideable. It's built to be epic.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And nothing more.
And a lot of these bikes now, they're in glass cabinets, or they're in a games room or an office. A lot of them on display. And it's very rare to see actually one being ridden on the road.
Well, let's go and fix that.
Oh, it needs to be done. There you go, Chris. Be gentle with the front, please.
I promise. Can we start up? Can we see what it sounds like?
Please do.
Oh. MotoGP bike for the road. Anything I need to know with starting it?
No, chokes it, because it's cold. There you go.
Sounds angry. Right, we'll let that warm up and let's go out and hit the road. Well, it doesn't come any more exotic than this. This is the Ducati Desmosedici RR, proper road legal Grand Prix bike. That is hands down one of the most intense motorcycle riding experiences I have ever had. That Desmosedici RR is something else. Riding this today was a little bit of an interesting experience for the reason that I've got a lot of motorcycle journalist friends that have ridden the Desmos, went to the launches of things when they came out. You know, loads of people I know have ridden these, and most of the time their feedback is kind of, yeah, they're quite good, or yeah, it's a nice bike. I never really had that many superlatives about them. People never come back saying, oh, they're incredible. And I think it's because when they came out, people were expecting it to be faster and more powerful. But in all honesty, riding it today, riding it on the road, it couldn't be more intense. It is raw, it is brutal. Everything about it is uncompromising, and that makes it a real occasion to ride. So let's go through a few of the standout points for me. Number one, just being around the Desmo. It's just one of those bikes you end up doing laps of, and every time you look at it, you spot something else really trick, really special. Carbon fiber everywhere. You start noticing the details in the paintwork. The paint's thin enough that you can see the weave of the carbon fiber beneath. The way the rear sets and the control plates and the footrest hangers all mount on. The shock buried inside the swinging arm. The gas fork. I could go on and on and on. My favorite detail is the little ceramic tip around the seat exit exhaust. That's just gorgeous. Everything about it is exquisite. And at the time, these were £42,000, which was a chunk of cash in 2007, but now these are selling for £70,000 upwards. It's mind-blowing. You know, a high mileage, good value one is 52 grand now, which fries my brain a little bit. And it was definitely hard not to think of that while I was riding. The weirdness with the tyres, again, the 16-inch Bridgestone rear end. I got no chance at all to experiment and see how much edge grip that gave me because I was riding around on cold roads going, this thing is wild, I must not crash it. I did get a few opportunities to really open it up and really let that V4 motor sing. It is raw, it is rough, it is coarse, and it is phenomenally powerful. It makes power in a way that no other Ducati I've ridden does. It feels like someone's taken the 998 I rode the other month and just turned it up to 11. It doesn't feel like a Superleggera or a modern V4 Ducati. It's so much rawer, so much more sharp than that. It does just feel like one of those old school Ducatis, but cranked up until it's wheeling everywhere and just insane. The whole riding experience is very, very sharp. The suspension is stiff. The chassis is stiff and uncompromising. The brakes, phenomenally powerful, lots of bite. And the engine, it's not just powerful at the top. As soon as it kind of gets going 4,000 revs upwards, it's making good power and it's sharp off the throttle. It wants to spin a wheel. It wants to lift the front tire. So you are kind of, you've got to stay on top of it because there's no rider aids, there's no ABS, there's no traction control, there's no rider modes to get a softer. It's all there and it's all you. And that's very, very exciting, slightly terrifying when it's someone else's pristine, expensive motorcycle. This one today has not even got 1,000 miles on it, so it was quite a special experience to ride it, but I constantly had in the back of my head that I definitely must not do any damage to it. I'm kind of lost for words to describe it. Let's take it on face value. It's not the fastest motorcycle available. I've ridden faster bikes. It's not the lightest bike I've ever ridden. I've ridden lots of lighter, modern supersport bikes, but it is a MotoGP bike for the road. And it feels every bit of that. It doesn't feel like anything has been softened and designed to make it nice to ride and designed to make it compliant and designed to cost it the novice. This bike will very quickly tell you that you're not good enough to ride it. And I think it does that to everyone who isn't Casey Stoner, which, yeah, it depends. It's not a bike you're going to go and enjoy a relaxing Sunday ride on, but as a bike that is a real experience and a real kind of like, whoa, that is out of this world, that is one of the highest ranked bikes on that list for me. Just obscene. So I have a little list going in my head, and everyone does. I have bikes that are special to me, bikes that I like to ride, bikes that I dream of owning. I have an all-time favorite motorcycle, which currently, at the moment, my dream bike prior to today was a Ducati 1199 Superleggera. I love that bike because it is ridiculously exquisite. It has magnesium frame and carbon fiber this and titanium that. But I love the most about it is it's one of the most bonkers motorcycles I've ever ridden. It's like a 200 horsepower two-stroke that shakes its bars and it feels like it's trying to kill you every time you ride it. I find that very exciting, and it is my favorite bike. It's the one bike that if someone gave me a blank check, that's what I'd go and buy. Until today, and now I'm torn because the 1199 is way more usable. It's way spikier, way angrier, way twitchier. It's faster. In measurable ways, it's better across the board. But this Desmosedici RR is so special, so intense and involving to ride that I can't stop thinking about how nice it would be to, in Dream World, own one and go and do a proper track day and actually really experience it to its fullest on track. That is logged there. And I know the only way that I'm likely to ever do that is if I magically win the lottery and buy one, because there's no way you could take someone else's one and push it to its limit on track. That's that's not fair. But yeah, so for it to have climbed that list, I might have to sleep on it, but it may well have toppled the Superleggera from Chris's all-time bikes he wants the most list. Good job, Desmo. Good job.